reports that we are into a tech pause.
No.
So I blame Jenny because she
What?
said that we were clear to go into game. But
Guys,
what do you
ignore
know?
Frank. We're back.
clear
We're
to go
back.
into game, Jenny. Dude, you're such a prophet.
What? Wait a minute. What's this 180? First you tell me I am the curse, and then now you
What?
tell me I'm a genius? What?
I didn't say anything. What do you mean? You were always the genius. What?
Don't gaslight me like this, Frank. But
What?
anyway, guys, we are finally here. We are on the roof for game number 4 of week 1, day number 2 of the Pacific Championship Series, Summer Split 2022. DCG on the blue side, PSG on the red side. Early level 1 doesn't look like all that much is going to happen. DCG look like they might want to go for something sneaky here in the river. PSG have started out default though, 1 in each lane, but yep, they're gonna choose Bury at the start. Bury's probably just gonna back off. Yeah, so they 3-man this just to get the ward over at the Rid buff and also to get vision of Bury. And yeah, they're gonna back out. So no kill, no foul, not yet.
And an interesting thing to note of these summoners, of course, we have Ignite being run by the Sejuani up in the top side. We've seen that relatively often for anyone who's been following Sejuani summoners. She does have solid dueling potential because of the changes to her passive, giving her extra damage every so often. And the other thing is going to be Cascada is running the exhaust himself. So if he gets on top of the Aphelios is going to do a lot of reduced damage. Whereas on the flip side, okay, back into a pause. But on the flip side, Unified does have cleanse. So if he gets hit by the hostile takeover, he can cleanse the Berserk. And yeah, he won't, at the very least, he won't batter his own team.
Yeah, we have another game pause. It was not me, guys. It was not me who cursed it this time around. It was Frank. It's always Frank. But
I didn't say anything.
I'm not sure if we're going to have the pause or the remake. Hopefully, it's just going to be the pause.
I assume it's just going to be a pause. I would assume it's probably like some sort of hardware issue, like a mouse,
like a headset, that sort of thing.
Yeah. Sometimes your mouse dies in the middle of a team fight. That happened to me in ARAM, and I was very salty because I was just standing around like an idiot, and I died. And I was very sad, and I also didn't know what happened because I was shaking my mouse around and nothing was happening.
I mean, in all fairness, Frank, with a working mouse, sometimes in ARAMs you're still standing around like an idiot. I'm sorry.
You know, sometimes I forget to plug in the mouse. You know, people talk about plugging in the monitor.
Yeah.
Me, I have a wireless mouse, so sometimes I forget to plug in the receiver. So even though the mouse is on, the receiver's not in, and
sounds like a thing you should be plugging in is like maybe your brain. I think maybe that's the root of the problem, it sounds like to
Well,
me.
the big issue is sometimes the brain is plugged in. It's just not everything is firing correctly, you know?
No, I can't really. I'm kidding.
Like sometimes you know the Christmas lights?
Yeah.
You plug in the Christmas lights, but then there's that one bulb that kills all the rest of the Christmas lights. That's sometimes my brain, you know? There's the one brain cell that decides to turn off and everything else just shuts down.
Yeah, I can't relate. I literally only got one brain cell, so like when the one brain cell fails me, like that's it. That's just like no brain.
All the lights are off.
All the lights at the same time. I mean, at least we got like, you know, synergy going on up here, but I don't know, man. I don't know how long this pause is gonna be. You wanna like ARAM after this?
I mean, I'm sure we'll see plenty of ARAMs in this game, right? Because we have Aphelios, we have Azir. I'm pretty sure they're just going to be ARAMing for the most part.
Just straight running it down, just one lane, mid only CS, and then just start team fights. Yeah, I see that happening. I mean, we got it pretty standard as what little that we saw from that game just now did seem to be pretty standard. I think DCG looked like they were going for some cheese, and I would have loved it if DCG had served up like a warm, hot plate of like cheese fondue for this game today, just because them during spring, like a couple months back, their early season, they tested out so many fun strats, and it was just so fun to watch them. We got the Nesty Bard, which I will remember till I die, probably. I mean, like that Nesty Bard was just something that none of the other PCS teams were trying. So I was kind of hoping that, you know, maybe we would see a bit more cheese come out from this team, because I think, like, you know, that's the sort of thing that wins you fans in a league like ours, you know. But of course, 12-11, we've talked about how Nesty's champ pool not really suited for this, along with the play style. And DCG look like they're playing very standard 12-11 in terms of their drafts, right? They even put Nesty on the swing just to try and make the 12-11 work. But yeah, pretty standard start, and we are back. We are back. Is this for real? For real?
Oh no, hold that thought first. You know, we'll get back to you. But down in this bottom lane, you know, this should be the action-packed lane, right? Because Callista wants to get ahead, but Nautilus, Philios, definitely a lot of kill pressure themselves. So if these junglers get involved, it could turn explosive very, very quickly. But right now, Hana in a position. Of course, Gory has been punished pretty hard past game, and now it looks like Hana is going to get in range, but the zippy zoop coming in from Azir will get him out of dodge. Yes, I call it zippy zoop.
I figured it out. I saw with my eyes what happened on screen. I figured out what was going on. But yeah, Hana just with that casual drive-by down over in the mid lane doesn't quite make anything happen onto Gory just yet. Is gonna start off the red buff right here. That's the thing about Hana that I really want to see more of in summer, is Hana's actually a great jungler. He's, in my opinion, like top 3. Like DCG, regardless of how you might rank some of the other players on their squad, I think Hana is one of the star players, one of the star tier players on the squad. But oh, Nesty onto Gory right there. It's a bunch of damage with the chains. But Gory, of course, is the Azir, is already level 4, so has access to that little bit of poke damage, sand soldiers as well. So it's gonna kind of hurt, although he is really low on mana. Neither mid laner looks like they really want to back just yet. However, both are taking TP, so would be able to get back into lane quick. But it looks like we're gonna stick around here for a bit longer. Gory's really gonna be posted back soon, so I don't think he can keep pushing for that much longer.
Well, he does have 2 cookies, so it is going to give him some mana if he does come under fire and if he needs to go ahead and use it. But I would agree that with Nesty being as low as he is, though, it means that Gory will get one more shove, one more crash before he goes ahead, resets, and comes back probably with the teleport. So he comes out right now about 10 CS up onto Nesty. Will get cut in half very quickly as the wave does come towards him. But as things stand, again, it's really going to be when do these junglers come and make a splash, because there's definitely great setup coming in from all of these lanes. It's just a matter of getting the jungler to ensure that they can finish off the kill.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're about level 4 right now, so they've been pretty passive up until now. But oh, Kylie.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Not bad.
He's gonna just make it out of that one. Woody, though, a bit annoyed. He's just gonna walk into a bush further away. There's another TP from Leaky to head back towards the top, falling a bit behind on CS, but not all that much, just like half a wave or so. There's the root gonna land onto Kylie. Actually, and oh, that hook goes wide. So the pro tip,
unfortunately,
is you want to aim the hook at their feet, middle or feet in general. I think that one was like a bit towards the head, so from our perspective it looked like it would land, but it doesn't quite land in terms of the hitbox. But PSG, they're gonna just convert off of nothing and pick up the dragon right there. They pull Bury down to the dragon pit, and with 2, they're actually able to get a super early dragon 6 minutes in.
But
And
now a dive
oh
attempt here very
no!
early on. This is 6 minutes in. Hanabi, he's going to be taken very low. Hana will flash forward and finish it off, but it's a return kill. So, you know, I would still say it's a plus trade for DCG, right? Because you deny the extra wave. But the issue is Hanabi doesn't have the teleport, and at the very least, he does get something out of this play.
I mean, you get something, but it looks more like a mistake, I think, from the side. Oh, yeah, no, it's just 12-11 tower doing tower things at this point. 2 attacks just obliterating Hana's health. I'm not sure if an opportunity for him to maybe juggle the aggro a bit better, but anyway, now just gonna have to do the walk of shame back into his lane right there. Had used the TP to get back to lane right before this, so that's why it wasn't up this time. And now that even though he has hit level 6, he's still not going to have it for another minute or so. So that might make a difference in the next fight. But Gory, meanwhile, just continuing to hard shove in this mid lane. DCG have had no choice but to like call Hana to try and like pick up a few of the creeps so they don't drop too much in terms of minions and XP across the board while they wait for Nesty to slowly come back. And yeah, the golds 11.4k across the board. Even Steven?
Yeah, Bury, level 6 now. Of course, against Trundle, we'll have decent clear speed against that champion. Trundle definitely not known for his clear speed. And the way he keeps up in levels is by getting kill EXP through those extra assists. But as things stand, you know, still dead even. And when we talked about these compositions again for DCG, it's about being able to snowball, get an early lead, snowball off of that. And a lot of that comes from, you know, now that they are level 6, this top half of the map has a lot of CC lockdown. Now in the bottom, of course, that's also pretty strong as well. Kalista, Renata, a lot of CC themselves. And it's about being able to set up and again, get jungle influence to guarantee those kills. It will be unified in Kaiwing, knowing that, hey, they're up in that top side taking Herald. Well, we can just go ahead and steal away a plate here and try and get what we can, because we know that Hanabi, without his flash, it's going to be a little bit tough to try and make a play top side.
Yeah, good crest map response from the side of PSG to pick up some good plates and gold over in bot side. Hanabi right there is just gonna have no choice but to go into this mega Nart form, get a bit of damage onto Leaky, who's very likely going to base in a bit because he's running low on mana. Oh, and he's not. I thought he would maybe want to wait for the teleport CD to come up. There's Bury with a bit of an invade, but really risky. I don't think he would have wanted to do that because he does have both buffs on him. He doesn't want to give that up just to risk stealing over the red buff from Hana, although red buff on Trundle is pretty crucial. It's pretty important, but Hana does pick that one up by calling another member on the DCG squad over to the red buff. And I think we're just seeing a very standard calm and collected game play out in the early stages, right? Nightstar, like both of these teams, they're not trying anything too crazy. We saw both junglers hit 6, but no real like roams or no real aggression just yet, or at least nothing that they've managed to successfully pull off. And poor Nesty, he's been having a really rough laning phase so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting absolutely demolished in harassment in this mid lane, and that begs the question, why are you running Doran's Ring when you could be running Triple Potion with the corrupting pots and just running full sustain to try and endure and being able to deal with the extra poke? But as a result, he's being forced to recall a number of times, and that's not been great for him. However, at the same time, as the lane continues to extend longer and longer lane phase, you're still accumulating more and more onto Gory now, right? Because now he's got his first item completed. That means the poke damage is going to do a lot more for him, and given that he has, okay, this is a possible roam down in this bottom lane, but given that he has first strike, it means he's going to be farming up a lot of extra gold on top of the fact he is 20 CS up. So this is the thing we highlighted. Okay, Nesty coming in on an angle. He's going to look to go in. Will be able to steal away the Kaiwing ultimate. And
no.
will be able to zone away Unified. But now Unified red-white. This is where you want to fight. And that's going to result in an easy triple for these hyper carries. And you hate to say it, but it feels like it might just be GG at 11 minutes. That's 2 kills for the Zir, 2 kills for the Philios, and Bury's going to snag them their second dragon.
Yo, we gotta have some hopium for DCG, alright? It's way too soon to call it, but I mean, we've been talking about how good PSG are at teamfights, and even that 11-minute teamfight just absolutely showed how
And this started out so well. Right?
Yeah, it started out so well for them. You can see that they wanted to go really hit great. Helios ultimate as well. First they catch out Kaiwing, and after that, but just once Gory comes in, Gory also with the Azir ultimate knocks. I think he knocks back the 3 or 4 of the DCG members, and that's just for the team fight, not yet for the game. But there's a damage graph, absolutely insane. More than 4k for Gory. Also, I mean, PSG were able to capitalize off of that one really big. We're talking about how the gold lead was actually completely even right before that, and right now they've managed to pull that to almost 1,500 up. They got 2 kills onto Gory as well as 2 kills onto the Philios. I mean, I thought before that fight that both teams were just happy to scale, right? Hang on a sec.
Snagged up. Nesty has a Zero ultimate, but does
they have to burn it.
Will force the stopwatch. And now Kaiwing's actually going to flash forward. Does land a hook onto Hana. Hana's just cut away from the rest of his squad. There's no reinforcements coming to help him, but there's just not enough damage coming in from both Bury and Kaiwing, so he will be able to eventually walk it off. But Gory, doing still so much damage, has the completed mythic. Reminder, he had completed mythic going into that dragon fight, and the mythic difference made a huge fight impact, because you look on the flip side, Nesty doesn't have the Everfrost completed yet, and that's a huge part of his utility in these fights and setting up for the rest of his squad. So a lot of things went wrong for DCG, but they went for the fight, and PSG happily accept that and jump out to a pretty good gold lead, but definitely not a doomsday gold lead.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, at Leandry's, especially on the durability patch, it's huge, right? It's such an important item, because on durability patch, you get max health. And so any item that effectively is good against that type of max health damage is going to be pretty strong. So Leandry's definitely one of them. The fact that you had that before. And meanwhile, as you mentioned, Nesty only half of his item. Yeah, that just some things in favor of PSG. The gold diff, and you can see the sand soldiers already, just the poke starting to be a bit much. Kaiwing, as you're talking about, one of the best roaming supports, if not the best roaming support that the PCS has to offer. Just going to help out Gory, make sure they do pick up the mid-side tier 1 together with Bury. What do you see here? Bury's a bit late. Yeah, they're collapsing from the top side, but Gory already, they know what's up, so they're backing off towards bottom. Bury's also going to steal Raptor as well. They're at it as well as
a red buff.
Yo, DCG, they're still around mid and top, so they're opting to go for Shelly instead. I think that's what they're trading. Yep, they're going to trade Shelly for red buff as well as bot side tower. So both teams do get something out of this. DCG Roof Herald is good for them because it does help them push versus the longer range that PSG do have. So they've yet to pick up their first tower just yet. But I mean, PSG in terms of gold, I think they definitely came out on top of that one.
Yeah, for sure. And for the side of DCG, they pretty much have to go for that Herald play because they just don't have any range. You have the Kalista, who is a little bit behind, not too far behind, but against Aphelios, who already has 2 kills, if you try and go ahead, auto that turret, it's very easy for you to just get bursted or caught out by this Nautilus, as Hanabi does stop the back. Nesty caught out of position, but maybe he's able to turn things around as the Gnar ultimate gets thrown in by the true Gnar ultimate, though, and he's going to take a huge chunk of damage. Doesn't have the teleport up and available, trying to get the recall off. With Dragon coming up in 15 seconds, he needs to get the back off, will be able to do so, and now it's just a matter of DCG. Can they stall for the rest, for Nessie to make his way over here? He has now the Everfrost, so that will be a key thing to keep track of.
Yeah, PSG posturing for the fight here. They really want to take this mid side at tier 1 and keep that Silas down. Pillar's going to come out and knock up the Glory. I think he might have had an opportunity to actually go forward with this dance
over Gerald thrown. That's going to get mid priority and should be. Oh, it's not going to get actually get charge off. So that's a huge loss for DCG. But now the play they're looking for it, but they can't find it. And now the hook lands onto the Nesty. Nesty's going to get a huge 3-man ultimate, but it's not going to be enough. The side of PSG, they are just dominating the team fights. They get 1 kill back, but that's looking like that's all they're going to get, as Kriskana just has to try and flash out. Leaky over the wall, perhaps hoping that PSG would overextend themselves, but PSG, they get everything they wanted, and this is a much different game than what we saw against CFO yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, in yesterday's game, it looked like CFO had a chance to come back in the early mid because they were the ones with the lead. This time around has just been the PSG show from start to finish. We'll take a look at the replay for this.
This is tragic.
Yeah, Woody, when he threw Woody in, they just weren't able to capitalize off of that. And after that, it's just really a disaster for DCG. They don't quite have the rest of the initiation tools. You can see over on the side, Leaky actually solo ults Hanabi at the side there, and without Renata, without that Sejuani ultimate, they just aren't able to go for a proper fight because, I mean, look at Trundle, it's like secondary type of engage and CC, and it was just so easy for PSG after that to clean up. I mean, props to Nesty, he landed a great 3-man Gnar ultimate, pushed 3 members of PSG into the river wall right there, but just lack of damage as well. I mean, Cascado just wasn't able to do much through no fall of his own.
Yeah, the issue is for DCG, Nesty got a great ultimate. He got the Gnar into the wall, lands on 3 members, also chained into the hostile takeover coming in from Woody. Yep. But the issue was, how are they going to finish off members? That's the key issue. They don't have damage. The only damage they have is the Callista, and Callista has to get in range. And these fights are happening outside of her range. Now teleport coming in from behind. Bury and Gory, this is the Korean duo. The new members might get picked off here. Leaky does land the ultimate onto Gory. That should be the Zero to fall down. Will throw down a turret, but that's not going to be enough. It will be the pick onto Gory, and that's a welcome gold going into the pockets of DCG, but at the same time, PSG still find something elsewhere. They get themselves that mid turret, they get themselves this top turret, but now the teleport comes in. DCG, they still don't want to let the play go, and Nessie on the flank is going to go in, is going to get rooted up. They're stuck in this choke point. That's a great hostile takeover, but now Hanabi will be able to get his teleport off, and he's very close to Mega, and that's going to prompt DCG to go ahead, reset, and back off.
And it's just skirmish after skirmish all across the map. DCG do pick up that 1 kill off of Gory, but what did it cost? It cost them their mid-side tower. That Nesty flank into the TP over at top
pretty
side
crazy.
River. That was so crazy. That scared me for a second. I thought like he was gonna get caught out by 3 members of PSG, but DCG, thank God,
Bury.
Fast enough. Leaky,
they want their revenge.
Oh, it's gonna be roast pig for dinner, no!
Oh, you know what goes well with roast pork? Some leeks.
Oh, you're right. Man, I'm hungry.
Yeah. And it gives that extra little bit of flavor while the fork is stewing. So that's exactly what PSG had in mind as well. So they secured themselves a pick. They get revenge, more importantly, for Gory. When they sent literally the whole squad for him, and now they get to pick off the Sejuani, who was a key factor in locking him down. But, I mean, for DCG, that's their way to get back in, right? Picks. This is a composition that can get picks, but once PSG go into ARAM mode, it becomes that much harder.
Looks like meat's back on the menu, boys. But yeah, we were saying Sejuani is a key part of DCG's team fighting potential. I mean, we saw earlier they tried to go for Kello's tossing in the Renata.
He's like barely above the supports here. He is poor. This man.
Yo, we don't make fun of people for being poor. Jeez, friend. It's 2022. Yeah, but he's about 60 CS are so down. Gory's got 5 kills.
Everyone knows what's about to happen. PSG
know
PSG know that they're in this bush, and DCG know that PSG know
that they know
that they know that they know.
Oh no, and it's 30 seconds before Dragon. If they get the team fight here, it's just easy fourth Dragon for them.
Yeah, this Dragon's still on the table. This is Mountain Soul. Can DCG actually punch through the Mountain Shields? This would be critical. It's probably even game-ending if DCG let this one go. They need a little bit more time. They need to win this Dragon fight, but how do they do it?
They need wards, firstly. They have no wards in pit, they have no wards in river. You can see just how good PSG's ward coverage is. So they're gonna go for the flank right here, but it's a 5v4 and oh no. Dragon is alive. He's gonna actually try. Oh, there's leaky around the side. I think PSG are gonna try to start it and then pull Dragon out. If they do that and pull it towards top side, I don't think PSG have that angle. You can see Netsu from the side. Once again, is gonna steal the Gnar ultimate, the best one that he can have for this upcoming fight.
Okay, they've started out Dragon.
The ground. Yep.
Hanabi's mega. That's big. He's walking in. He's trying to get a flank on, and now the hostile takeover does get a good land onto the side of PSG, but it's just not enough damage. Cryscott is at long last able to get into the fight, but can he outperform this Aphelios? It's looking so close, but it's not enough, and they just can't touch this Azir, Jenny.
Did Hanabi just flash Wolves emote? Or am I seeing things?
Because he just like 1v1 Nesty the entire time. The entire time we were
that was really sad. We're gonna take a look at the replay, but Cryscott nearly made that happen. If there wasn't this goal difference, I think Cryscott might have been able to pull that one out of the hat because 3 members of PSG were actually left really low at the end of that fight. Props to PSG though, they're gonna convert this into getting the Baron, and I think at this point the lead is just getting a bit too far for DCG to handle. But take a look at this fight again. Remember,
it was a good steal from Hana.
Exactly.
But Leaky goes in. You see the chain CC land, and I mean, on the flip side, Netsy's just having his 1v1. But Cryscott jumps in, gets the first pick, but Unified has the Bloodthirster completed already. So even with the extra reset potential, just not enough to outdo the healing coming in from the Bloodthirster. And all the during that entire time as well, Gory able to hit multiple members, those sand soldiers, because they're all coming into him. They can't dodge those sand soldiers. He just puts it on top of himself and he just goes to town.
Yeah, it's part of the power of why Azir is so good in these types of fights around the Dragon Pit. He had a pretty good ultimate as well, and you can see just Cascada with that shield at the end, just still not enough. PSG are gonna back out for a bit. They did spread the Baron buff over towards top side. Kaiwing queued out of there, but looks like they actually want to turn around. Hanabi once again split push Gnar. So the name of the game over here in the mid side, PSG are gonna steal the blue as well. Hand it over to Viego. Kaiwing looks like he wants to start a fight. He's sniffing around for someone to land that first Q onto. It's probably not gonna be Pig. I don't think he wants to. Yep, he's out of there, man. He's not gonna hook onto Sejuani, even though PSG have flamingos. Oh, there's the ultimate being used. No, and Renata as well. They don't
Yeah,
make anything
Woody?
happen from that. Frank and Out, they just don't have that Callista engage. What?
Well, let's just say they have a lot of engage tools, but the issue is how do they actually engage onto the backbone? Gory, unified. Especially, like, if you don't kill the Zir, you don't ever win the fight. And they're trying to go in onto Unified. The hostile takeover does go in. It does CC 3 members, but there's just no damage. Hanabi comes with teleport and instantly bops them, trounces them into the trash. And that will be the side of PSG running away with the game here. It is 26 minutes in. This was clinical from start to finish. Yes, DCG continued to try a fish for engages, but once more, Nesty just couldn't find those angles.
Yeah, I mean, props to Misty. I think he definitely did better today than he did yesterday. Just in terms of more altitude and team fights of positioning. PSG though, they're gonna drag this one out, play with their food a bit, try to pad their kitties towards the end of the game. But it is going to be a very decisive victory for the side of PSG. You can see on their player cam just smiles all around, especially Kaiwing and Hanabi, and they deserve that. I mean, Hanabi.
So you're saying Unified smile?
I mean, Unified's moving, which I think, like, you know, is good enough for most of us. I think the running joke on chat is always like, is that a GIF? Look how much he's talking to you. Did you see that? That's like literally.
He's alive. Oh my god.